I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Okay, happy Saturday. Wanted to follow up on a Saturday blog I did a couple of weeks ago on, earning passive income, buying and holding strategy, what's worked for me, how I, what I talk about it in my book, how I became a multi-millionaire at a pretty young age in my late 30s from not really doing anything special, just buying and holding Vancouver real estate, renting it out. And then, of course, buying good quality, mostly dividend-paying stocks at that time, reinvesting the dividends and just letting it ride. And it's incredible what it can do for you after 15 or 20 years. But, this was, I got a lot of comments from that video, and I always do. So I want to just give you the one of these emails that I got. I'm going to try and set this guy straight on the right path. This guy needs a little bit of help here for sure. Whether I'm going to reach him or not, who knows? But at least it could be a bit of a warning call or some advice for some of you guys that watch my blog, because I see a lot of this attitude out here from young people, especially under the age of 35. They all want to do it the easy way, the quick way. They talk about earning $2 million a year like it's going to be a breeze. And hey, I wish you the best of luck with that, building a business that's going to make $2 million a year for you. That's great. And I applaud that. And that's what you want to be doing. But they're discounting the value of getting your money working for you passively. They just don't get it. And this isn't Bigland telling you this stuff. I for the love of God, I don't know why these guys, this guy I can tell has not read any books by anybody. He's never read anything by Warren Buffett or Jack Bogle or any just basic finance books or investing books. Because this isn't my theory and philosophies. This is stuff that I've learned from the best. I put it to work at a young age, and I can tell you it worked incredible for me, and it'll work incredible for you. And guess what? It's the only way to do it. You're great in building a business. I did the same thing. I run a successful real estate team. But you want to take some of that money, invest it in things like equities, max out your TFSA, your RRSP, own your own home instead of renting, and then maybe down the road even buy an investment unit, take advantage of the leverage, diversify. There's not enough working hours in the day. Supercharge your returns. I don't know any wealthy, successful person, I've talked about many times, that does not have multiple revenue streams. 5, 6, 7. Read books on this. There was a best-selling book that came out about 40 years ago called The Millionaire Next Door. You should read this book. It'll talk about that, how multi-millionaires all have multiple revenue streams. The main one, of course, is their career. For me, it's selling homes. For this guy, well, he's vague on what he wants to do, but apparently he's going to be making $2 million a year pretty soon. And I hope he makes it. But you've got to earn or get your income going passively. There's not enough working hours in the day unless you're a surgeon, a high-level trial attorney, maybe a tech entrepreneur. Those jobs are out there. I mean, I'm in the top fraction of 1% of wage earners in Canada, but I still have my money and have been obsessed forever in getting my money working for me passively as well. So this is the email. He goes, "Hey, Owen, I think your strategy is fine, but the issue is no one wants to enjoy life 30 or 40 years later." Okay, I have to stop it. So I don't know how old this guy is. I mean, if you're a young guy, 30 or 40 years is going to come on pretty quick. I mean, geez, I'm going on 60 here. I'm planning on living to 100, but I'm an optimistic guy. My dad's 96 and is living independently still. So longevity runs in my family. I'm in good shape. I'm planning on retiring and semi-retiring here in a couple more years, and then I'm planning on having 20, 30 good years of retirement. But you got to be optimistic with that, and if you stay in shape and everything else, it can be done. As I say, my dad's 96, but and I've enjoyed my life all the way through. I've done lots of blogs since I was in my 20s, working hard, playing hard. That's my rule. I've traveled all over the world. I've done everything. And will continue to do that in retiring age. So, but I don't know, this guy, unless I don't know something that maybe he's in bad health or something, I don't know, or how old he is. You don't know what tomorrow brings. Well, okay, of course you don't, but doesn't mean you don't plan for tomorrow. Investing passively is fine. God, there isn't a wealthy person out there, my young viewer here, that does not have passive investments? Why would you not have them? I make money while I sleep. Is that something that you don't want to do? I don't know. But, and I don't want to be mean to this guy. Listen, he's anonymous anyways, and he needs some tough love here, because it's typical with a lot of these guys. They surround themselves with like-minded people, and if they're all in this mindset, you're all kind of headed the wrong direction here. I'm sorry, you are. You need someone like me to give you a little bit of tough love here and try and set the record straight for you. You know, so what you really need to do is maximize your active income now. Well, of course you do. If you've watched my blogs, yes. How many blogs have I done on Saturday about building a career, getting better every day at what you do so you can move up that pay scale? That's the power. That's why passive income is so great, because once you buy it, you buy 100 shares in Apple, it doesn't take any more of your time. You can continue to maximize your working income. That's what passive income is about. That's why my book is called Along for the Ride. It's about building your wealth passively so you don't get sidetracked on your career. That's what this is about. You buy 100 shares of Apple, you buy 100 shares of Visa, you buy with an investment property, it's a little more work because you got to place tenants from time to time. But for the most part, it's not interfering with you in your journey up that pay scale on your principal occupation, your working hours. You know, he talks about, real estate's not that good because you got to deal with bad tenants, garbage tenants, he calls them, negative cash flow that drain you mentally and financially, with no exit strategy. Investing in real estate and other passive assets just makes you more lazy and not motivated to maximize your active income. That's so wrong. I'd rather earn $2 million a year after tax than have a massive liquidity event in 40 years. I don't even know what he's talking about at this point. So listen, if you can earn $2 million a year, go for it. And again, passive investing is not going to interfere in that in the least. It's just going to supercharge your net worth without having to do anything for that passive aspect. I hope I'm making myself clear. Now, if you can make $2 million in a business, building your own business, hey, I wish you the best of luck. I love to see everyone succeed. $2 million a year would put you in the top 1/100th of 1% in Canada, but I wish you the best of luck. Keep in mind too, building your own business, I've built my own real estate team. I've been at this for 30 years and I do well. But in Canada and in the United States, something like 50% of small businesses are out of business in the first year. Something like 80% of them are out of business in the first 5 years. So it's not an easy task, not as easy as this guy thinks to make $2 million a year after tax. It's very difficult. The other thing I would tell you guys, people ask me, do I have any other businesses? And I tell them, yeah, I've got lots of other businesses outside real estate. I own Macdonald's, I own Pepsi, I own Apple, Nvidia. I own some of the world's greatest companies. And you have to ask I always ask myself, I've had lots of opportunity to get into other ventures, retail ventures and everything else, but I always think to myself, is that a better business model than Costco, which has made me a tremendous amount of money over the years and pays me a dividend every 3 months? Probably not. Is it a better business than Visa? Is it a better business than Apple? Probably not. Pretty tough to build your own business that's going to beat a lot of the S&P 500 companies. But, what I would tell this guy, you should read my book, because I know you haven't read it. You should read some books by Jack Bogle or Warren Buffett, because again, I know you're not well read here. I'm just giving you the tough love here. As one guy commented on his comment, what's wrong with having both? Exactly, there's nothing wrong with having both. You should have both. Go back to my Saturday blogs, read my book. My path to becoming a multimillionaire was concentrate on my career and building a business like you want to do to make $2 million a year. Take 15 or 20% of that money you're earning every year and put it into maxing out your RSP and TFSA, index invest, buy high quality dividend paying stocks. I've done lots of blogs on it. Once those are maxed out, probably move on to some what we call unregistered investments in the stock market. Once that, you've got a good handle on that, perhaps, depending on your situation, diversify, take advantage of the leverage, buy a one-bedroom condo in here in the West End that I'll get you into. You won't have any bad tenants because we're going to buy a quality unit, and I will teach you how to rent that unit and pretty much be not 100% passive, but pretty close to it. And you're taking advantage of the leverage, you're writing off all those expenses, and you're going to hang on to it for 15 or 20 years until the tenant pays off your mortgage. You will not have any liquidity issues because by that time you'll have a dividend portfolio that's providing you with $200,000 or $300,000 a year in dividend income. By that time, your real estate will probably be clear title and that rent check is coming in to you. Not clear, you'll still have some expenses, maintenance fees and taxes. So you're not going to have any liquidity problem. It's a snowball that will build up. But I won't go on any further. It's Saturday. I got to get going here. I've got showings this afternoon here. But, guys, I don't know where some of you guys get your info from, TikTok or chat boards with other like-minded guys your age. Build your business. I'm all for that. Take some of that money and put it into real estate and stocks that will start earning and producing and creating capital gain and providing you with dividend income passively. That's the only way you're going to create massive wealth. The only way, unless you do get into a career where you're earning $2 or $3 million a year. But even then, the tax man in Canada is going to take half of that right off the top, more than half. And you're out of your mind to not be putting some of that money away and getting it working for you passively. Everybody does that. I'm not the only guy. Ask some people, read some books. That's how you're going to create real wealth. I earn money while I sleep, and you don't want to be relying on one income source. Most successful people, multimillionaires, have at least 5 or 6. I've told you I have probably close to 10, but the main one being, of course, my working job as a realtor. My next biggest income would be my dividend income from my stock portfolio, which is quite large, but it's taken me 25 years to build it. The next one would be my rental income from my tenants. And then I've got a bunch of other smaller ventures, YouTube channel income, book sales, and a bunch of other little things that I've got that all provide me with passive income outside of my real estate career. You've got to do the same thing. Let this be your door opener here. Let Bigland here telling you this stuff. Maybe I should learn a little bit more about this. Maybe Bigland, what do I know, right? Been at this for a long time, wrote a best-selling book, and it's not my theory. It's stuff that I've learned from the best of the best. Mentors I've had over the years, very successful mentors, and all the hundreds of books I've read. If you open your horizons a little bit, you'll pretty quickly see that, hey, Bigland, I think, is right. I should be getting some of this money that I'm earning, put it aside into passive investments. That's the only way you're going to create real wealth. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching. Have a good weekend. See you next week.